It's Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor. Welcome to my YouTube station. It's the home of the 5-minute video. I just shoot these YouTubes at home. I have a nice office across the street. I'm in a penthouse up there, but I love doing these at home. If you want to see me in a coat and tie, you can go to my website at 777irs.com. You can see all my national TV interviews and ABC, The Briefing Room, Fox Business News, ABC, NBC, Newsmax, and all the other stations. You can see my whole team of former IRS agents on 777irs.com. I do these YouTubes so you don't get ripped off. I give you really good insider information from the Internal Revenue Service that you in fact need to know. And more than anything, I try to educate you and inform you as to the things that you need to know. I am an expert in IRS resolution matters. As a former revenue officer, I went ahead and taught the offer and compromise, or the tax debt forgiveness. Yes, with a pen like this, I used to accept offers, deny offers. I trained other revenue officers. I know all the tips. I know all the secrets. I know everything you need to know. Peter Salinger on my team, you'll see him on my website at 777irs.com. He worked at IRS for 33 years. He's worked probably about 2,500 offers. He is probably the nation's top expert in offer. I'm good, but he's really good. And he was the group manager of the offer and compromise group, so you can imagine how many offers that he's looked at. I want to tell you today about how to get the lowest offer possible through. I know because I've looked at them, and I'm going to tell you a couple tips that you need to know. Very important to get the lowest settlement. It's not so much just getting an offer. First of all, most firms can't get an offer through. You got to know that. There's so much garbage out there in offer and compromise space. There's just garbage. Matter of fact, when you call a firm, if you're not speaking to an attorney, a CPA, or an enrolled agent, the person on the other end of the phone doesn't know what they're doing because you're talking to a salesperson. So first of all, if you're not going to call us and you're not speaking to an attorney, CPA, or enrolled agent, hang up the phone because you're not going to know anything from them. But let's go back to how to get the lowest possible offer. You have to know what sorry about the stream. You have to know what the formula is. And here is kind of the formula so you understand. The first thing IRS is looking at are your assets and what the value are of your assets. So when you fill out the form, you have to make sure you're putting the lowest possible straight value for your assets. When I was a former IRS agent, I seen people fill out that form and they put what they thought was a reasonable amount, what furniture was worth, what this was worth. Let me tell you, if you put your furniture out on the street, you ain't going to get but $1,000. You have to make sure on the asset part of your offer, you got the lowest possible value. Let me give you a big tip about your residence, if you have a residence. If IRS is going to use Realtor.com or they're going to use Zillow, let's say you need roof work or you have a pool and that needs work, or there's a foundation crack and something's wrong with the house. When you have a Zillow or a Realtor.com, you may want to have a general contractor attach a report that says that Zillow and that Realtor isn't wrong because there's a number of issues that particular house has. So the first thing you do is you make sure you explain why the value of your assets is lower than what the IRS agent looking at the case would normally think. That alone is going to save you a boatload of money. The second is the IRS national standard. You must know the IRS national standard. If you don't know that, you have no business doing the, I don't care, by the way, if you do the offer yourself. You have no business doing the offer unless you understand the IRS national standard. What IRS is going to do is they're going to go ahead and limit your expenses in the category of food and clothing, housing and utilities, vehicle ownership, and vehicle operation. If you want to know what there are and you're a do-it-yourselfer, go into the IRS national standards, put it in your toolbar, for food and clothing, for housing and utilities, for automobile expenses and operation. You're going to find the expenses that IRS allows and what you're putting down are probably going to be wrong. I hope they're right, but they're wrong. Here's how that works. If IRS determines you have over $2,000 more than you should for the national standard, IRS is going to take that $2,000 and they're going to multiply by the life of the statute. So let's say you have 5 years left on your statute. That's a 60 multiplier, 12 months, 12 months in a year, times 5 years is 60. 2,000, okay, times 60 is what? It's $120,000. So IRS, in fact, is just going to want $120,000 more because you have money left over. So how does IRS figure out what your offer is going to be? They go ahead and they look at what the value of your assets are and they multiply it by whatever you have left over at the end of the month times the life of your statute. So you need to figure that out. That is the offer and compromise formula. What you can do on the other side, let's say you don't have a car payment, it will behoove you to go ahead and buy a new car because IRS is going to allow $585 for your car. What I'm telling you is if you're going to do an offer and compromise and you don't know what I'm talking about with the assets and the national standards, don't do your offer and compromise because you are going to pay more money than you should. If you owe a lot of money, give your case to a professional who knows how to value your assets and to value your income and your living expenses. That's the only way you're going to get the lowest figure. You must understand both of those. If your offer goes through and you don't know this, you're going to be paying a hell of a lot more. Anyway, I hope I explained this well enough. If I didn't, call me. It's kind of hard to explain because most people don't understand the IRS national standard prerogative where they're going to limit, in fact, what you're allowed to spend on a monthly basis. If you like this, please give me a subscription. Thank you very much.